The Greensboro Historical Museum has a very special visitor for the next month, and it is so special, in fact, that it is not just one thing to see. They have built a whole tour around it. It is, of course, the Emancipation Proclamation, and we're going to learn a little bit more about it today. This is Carol Hart, who's the Executive Director of the Greensboro Historical Museum. Thank you for having us.
Oh, we're delighted to have you here. We are thrilled to be able to show you this special exhibit today.
This is really exciting, and this is where we start. We start in kind of as we walk into the voices of a city and the beginning of the story of the Emancipation Proclamation, because it really is a story and an evolution that even doesn't end with the document.
Yeah, we're really going to take you on a journey through 300 years of Greensboro and Guilford County history, talking and thinking about freedom and what freedom means and what struggles there were, what freedoms were denied, and we will put the Emancipation Proclamation in a context that really makes it even more powerful.
And there are going to be some powerful emotions people feel going through this exhibit as well.
Yeah, preliminarily, as people are going through, there are a few wow moments in here, not just when you finally get to that document and realize the bravery, the struggles, the sadness, the joy that got to that moment, but also after the emancipation was issued, that the struggles weren't over, that there were reactions to this that weren't all good.
Well, let's begin our tour. So now we're in the introduction gallery as we go into this exhibit. And Susan Webster is the registrar for this exhibit. You did a lot of work behind the scenes to bring it here. It just doesn't come on a truck and go up overnight.
That's right. There's months of planning, lots of emails, letters, and phone calls. We were fortunate to work with the Lincoln Financial Foundation Collection, which is located at the Indiana State Museum. So worked with staff there and planning all the logistics, selecting items and getting information.
And Carol talked about it's not just the Emancipation Proclamation that you'll see as you tour this exhibit. There are lots of other pieces to this story that help you learn a little bit more about history and put it all into context.
That's right. There are some very personal items which you'll see in this intro gallery, which are from the actual Lincoln family albums or photographs called carte visites that are.
That's what these are here?
In this case, you'll see Lincoln and his wife Mary and their 3 sons who were with him in the White House.
And if we move over, can we take a step back a moment too? Because I think it's very interesting to look into this case. There's actually a shackle. That is going to bring up some emotions for people.
Those are some other items that we have here on loan from Indiana State Museum. The small booklet there were 50,000 of those printed right after the Emancipation passed for Union soldiers to bring to the South and to give to slaves to let them know that this proclamation was in place. It's coupled with some items for our own collection, which help to start that thread that I think visitors will enjoy as they go through Voices of a City to see other stories that are of local that tie to this particular historical topic and event.
Thank you. As you walk through the exhibit, there are surprises along the way, things you've seen before, but maybe you will think of in a new way in a context of freedom, which is what the Emancipation Proclamation is all about. And then we come to a video, and you might be tempted to kind of glance at it and walk by, but it's really worth taking a moment and sitting down, listening, and watching.
Yes, for me, this is one of the most powerful moments of this exhibit. When we were researching the Emancipation Proclamation, I Googled it, and up came a recently discovered audio at the New York State Museum of a Martin Luther King Jr. speech that was given at the 100th anniversary of the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation. The written document of a speech we had, but no one knew there was audio. To hear Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s words about why in 1962 the Emancipation Proclamation was still so relevant, how it was one of the 2 most important documents of American history, the Declaration of Independence being the other one, just brings really chills through you. The video here is 26 minutes long. When we first started to plan the exhibit, we said, well, 26 minutes is too long for people. Let's try to cut it to 6 or 8 minutes, just pull out the high points. I couldn't do it. Every word is like poetry. It's so beautiful and it's important. And I think people are going to want to stay and listen for the whole 26 minutes.
And I like when he said, he talks about its relevance in 1963. And really, I think people will find its relevance still today.
Yes, and he goes through 4 reasons why it's so important. And the one phrase he uses that we then picked up and used throughout the end of the exhibit is that it was up to us to make the words of Lincoln real, making freedom real. And especially in Greensboro, that's what citizens did through the civil rights era, including the sit-ins at the Woolworths counter.
Carol mentioned the lunch counter, and of course this is something that is familiar to just about everyone in Greensboro. Part of the lunch counter where 4 A&T students sat down and asked for lunch at an all-whites counter and really began a sit-in movement and really sparked some change. Again, as she said, making freedom real. And throughout the exhibit, as we work our way to the Emancipation Proclamation, you will see these decals that are markers of different parts of the exhibit and different parts of the story. Robert Harris is actually the exhibit designer behind putting this together, weaving this story. And as you were doing this, what was your thought process? How did you put this together?
Well, where we placed the Emancipation Proclamation right from the beginning was one of our key questions. And we thought at one point of just putting it out on our stage and displaying it that way, but then we felt we could weave a much broader story by placing it within voices. So that's how we began to put it in this area. And the lunch counter, along with a number of other objects, we've placed these kind of decals as branding icons to indicate the main aspects of the story. And branding this exhibit was a key part of the overall design. Having something visual that immediately you could see, relate to, and know that was part of the story. And the lunch counter is so iconic and such a huge part of the civil rights story that it seemed like this was the perfect opportunity to place the Emancipation Proclamation in juxtaposition with the lunch counter and going from one to the other right in your same visual. So that was probably one of the strongest reasons behind it.
And let's kind of work our way. We're going to walk towards the Emancipation Proclamation, if that's okay, and stop along the way because this is a beautiful etching that I think will kind of tell a little bit of the story as well when people see this.
And this is the presentation of the Emancipation Proclamation to Lincoln's cabinet or the team of rivals for the first time. This lithograph, along with a few others, were based on an original painting that was done for the period and made famous, Doris Kearns Goodwin and the movie.
Then if we walk just a few steps over, we finally get to the star visitor of the show, the Emancipation Proclamation.
And we're so fortunate to have been able to receive an object of this historical significance at our museum. It was amazing watching it come out of the case and having the opportunity to actually handle a piece of history that significant. So we wanted to make sure in displaying it that it had both a presidential and a sense of reverence around it, and certainly wanted to set it off against everything else. So that was probably the approach in my mind as we created this.
And there's a story too behind the document you're seeing right here. The original Emancipation Proclamation is in the archives in Washington, D.C., but there were a few others made.
There were 48 originally made, 48 copies, and there's only 20-some still in existence. I think it's around 23, 24 still in existence. But every copy hand-signed by Abraham Lincoln. We also have the inkwell that he used to sign the proclamation. One was destroyed. There was another copy that was destroyed in the Great Fire of Chicago. But this is one of the few remaining copies. Indiana State Museum are the ones who own this document presently, and we were able to borrow it for the 4 weeks.
It's really special to have it here.
It's amazingly special.
It's really
It's a
exciting.
great opportunity.
Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you.
And you can see the Emancipation Proclamation, walk through the story, walk through history, and really feel it as you do. There are going to be a lot of surprises along the way, so I'll tell you that in advance. But you can come to the Greensboro Historical Museum now through April 26th to see it, of course, Tuesday through Saturday at the museum, and find out more at greensborohistory.org.